little applications that go on your mobile phone can have significant life-changing impact. We think that this is the beginning of a really exciting revolution.
Jason, thank you very much for your time. Jason Jacobs is the CEO of Runkeeper, a very successful application. You already have 5 million users, and you just launched your Windows Phone 7 application. So tell us what the concept of Runkeeper is.
Sure, thanks Bruno. So Runkeeper is a mobile fitness platform for runners. And the basic vision is that we see huge innovations happening with fitness sensors, new and innovative ways to track your runs, your bike rides, your walks, your skiing, any different kind of fitness activity. And we built a platform for runners that integrates with different interesting kinds of fitness tracking devices, and then builds this virtual platform online such that through a mix of analysis of your data and pretty charts so you can see how you're doing over time, coaching, training programs, community, things like that, we're creating this virtual experience online that serves as a virtual coach that helps people hit their goals better and live healthier lives.
So the idea here, what we're talking about is if you're a runner or if you bike or if you like any physical activity, you can use their application to track yourself and then go on and I guess share with the community. What's interesting and where it's similar with the business context is it talks to the problem that we typically have in the business where we have multiple data sources. And your vision is to take my records on my health rate, maybe my run activity and so forth. So talk to us a little about how you're thinking about mashing up all that data.
Yeah, so I think there's a short term and there's a long term. In the long term, it's really interesting and exciting to us that there are so many new ways to collect this valuable fitness and health data that gives us unparalleled insight into what I'll call the plumbing of the human body.
Yeah.
This whole concept of a body API. And as this happens, there's more and more data that's being collected. And so increasingly there's a challenge around making sense of all of this data. And what we've seen is that companies are finally starting to wake up to this and realize that it's important not just to collect the data, but to make sense of that data as well. So you're seeing sensor manufacturers, the GPS watches or cycling computers or things like that, they're saying, oh, we better build a web system so that you can get more value out of that device. And big brands are saying, oh, we better build this kind of system around whether it be our shoes or our clothes or things like that so you can get more value around the things that we sell. And we think that this is the beginning of a really exciting revolution and that there's an opportunity for somebody to emerge that takes more of an independent and open approach.
So very innovative concept. Runkeeper is also a BizSparks, a Microsoft BizSparks company. Tell us a little bit more about the feature that you have today. The application not only tracks my activity, but it talks to me as well. Take us through what that looks like.
Yep, so I talked a little bit about the big picture, how we're aggregating data across all different kinds of activities, but in the short term, we are very, very focused around running first, since we believe it's important to really build out the platform and the ecosystem around the sport of running, and we have a lot of work left to do there. And so we started with smartphones, like the Windows Mobile 7 devices, and leveraging the location technology in the device so that now you can use your phone, whether it be on your arm or on a handlebar mount on your bicycle or in your pocket or in your hand, wherever it's most convenient for you, and it will actually tell you your run was a half an hour and you went 5 miles and your pace was this and you burned that many calories and here's the exact path that you traveled. In addition to actually collecting that data on the device, it's storing it all on the web. You can do things like broadcast it live as you're doing your activity so that anybody anywhere in the world that's at a web browser or on their phone can watch you as you're doing your activity. And what's getting really exciting now is that it's not just about tracking, but there's rich analytics that's emerging so that you can really dissect that data and understand how to do better. And we're also starting to partner with well-known coaches who have training programs and packaging that content so that you can actually lay out a program for yourself on the web, push it out to your mobile device, and then actually be coached in your ear in an automated way about when to walk, when to run. If a workout calls for you to do a certain thing, have your hand held every step of the way so that you don't have to think, you just have to go and do, and before you know it, you'll hit all your fitness goals.
Which is great, because I can imagine, as you're running, the application's talking to you. You might be using Zune software at the same time, listening to music. It will dim the music and then kind of give you instructions and put the music back on. So it's a very interactive system. Now, who are the users and what kind of stories can you tell us about who's using the system today?
Yep. So the interesting thing is that initially, I think our users have tended to be more casual fitness enthusiasts who have got a smartphone, they're listening to their music already, and they'd love to track their activities, but they may not own an expensive dedicated device. And the phone becomes a very powerful vehicle to go out and track all of your activities on the same device that you're using for your music and that you have for security reasons in case you get lost and need to make a call or things like that. But what's interesting now is that as we're expanding, if you have a standalone device, we're integrating with those. And if you have a Wi-Fi body scale, we're integrating with those. Or if you have a sleep monitoring device, we're integrating with those. So it's like all these different things that you're doing and collecting on an individual basis are now being pulled into one place. And so if I had to put in a box our target market today, it's probably the casual fitness enthusiast or the aspiring casual fitness enthusiast.
You said something there, this idea of mashing up the data. You have multiple activities, sounds very familiar to the business context today. You were telling me a story about how a particular user just gave you a call and told you what this application does for them. You want to share the story with us?
Sure. So we have a blind user, and his Twitter handle is Moochoo, M-O-O-C-H-O-O, if you want to look him up and learn more about him. He's an amazing guy. He is a runner, and he's run indoors, and he finally branched out and started running outdoors with a guide. So he had a guide at his side using our application. He runs on the same route every day.
Every day.
And what he found was that he memorized the route, but he wouldn't know where he was on that route without our application. But with the audio cues in his ear telling him where he was at different points during the route, at first he was using our application with the guide, but he over time developed enough confidence that now he goes out to the outdoors and runs alone with Runkeeper as his guide. And that's just one small example of how the little applications that go on your mobile phone can have significant life-changing impact to people's lives, and we're seeing things like that every day, both around our application, but just in general as these smartphones become more powerful computing devices.
No, this is a great story. Often we talk about this idea of analytics motivating people, and certainly you were telling me as well that as people measure themselves, they want to exercise more, and it's a motivating factor. But a story like that, I think, shows the impact that technology can have on people's lives. So thank you for sharing that with us. Where do people go if they want to find out more? Runkeeper.com
is our website, Runkeeper, and there's also links if you want to download our applications for any of our supported smartphone platforms, and most recently, Windows Mobile 7.
Great.
And you can sign up there. It's free to use, and if you do sign up, let us know what you think.
That's great. Well, Jason, I notice here you're in pretty good shape, and I think I'm in pretty good shape too, so why don't I take you out and then we can just go for a run here. You willing to take the challenge?
If you want to do it,
let's do it.
This.
Let's do it. Okay, I'll give you the advantage. Ready? Let's go.